Hi, so today is hair wash day, and I am so excited to try some new products that I have never used on my hair before. It is called Mielle Babassu Conditioning Shampoo. Um, the chat GBT recommended that I use this type of product because of the texture of my hair. I am currently Texlax. For years growing up, I used to use, just regular relaxers, but I want to keep my texture, some of my textured hair. But I also want to, use it, have manageability in it. I am, a 49-year-old woman, and I want to retain my hair strands in good health. Because believe it or not, ladies, at this age, yes, you can grow out your hair. I've done the big chop twice, and my hair is literally in the middle of my back. But I definitely want to make it a little bit more healthier and more stronger. So one of the products that I'm going to be using today, again, is the Mielle Conditioning Shampoo. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this. Today, I'm also going to be coloring my strands around my edges because I have grays around my edges. And with that product, I am going to be using a semi-permanent Clairol Professional BC dark brown color. Okay. Once I'm done with this, I am also going to be deep conditioning my hair. Now, for me, I like to use the same product line just to keep everything consistent. So definitely, it's very important that we deep condition our hair on a weekly basis because our hair, we definitely need as much moisture as we possibly can. And again, I want to just take you guys on my hair journey. Once I'm done with the deep conditioning, I am going to do a leave-in conditioner just so I can maintain the moisture in my hair because let me tell you something, ladies. I live in the South, Houston, Texas, and this humidity is real. Okay, so and it's very harsh on our hair with the climate that I live in. So I've been trying to move for years. I would love to live somewhere cooler, but for right now, yes, I am in Houston, Texas, where the humidity is 90%, totally always high. So once I get done with the leave-in conditioner, I am going to be whipping out the blow dryer. And I will show you a technique on how I'm going to be blow drying my hair. But anytime you're using any type of heat utensils, you always want to do a heat protectant on your hair. And that's when I'm going to be using the Creme of Nature with Argan oil heat protectant. Okay, because again, we want to protect our strands from the heat. And then I'm just, depending on what kind of style I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to follow up with an anti-humidity gloss mist just to give it that extra sheen, that extra shine. Creme of Nature, I have this particular product line I've been using for years. Also what I've been using for years is ORS olive oil. Well, come to find out, according to the chat GBT, once I told it that I was Texlax, ORS olive oil is actually too heavy for my hair. I need something more lighter. And Now, I was reading about the Mielle product line, and she tends to use a lot of natural ingredients in her products. So, and that's really what, caught my eye. So, again, it's also important that we read the ingredients anytime we put things in our hair. But I'm definitely curious to use this Mielle Sea Moss. It's an anti-shedding scalp and hair oil. So I'm very excited to use this and see how it's going to help with my scalp and make it thrive. And then also, throughout this process, I am going to be trimming my split ends and trimming the ends of my hair because I did notice some thin areas. I did notice a little shedding, and my ends look just a little bit ragged. So I do want to get those ends off because, again, ladies, we want to retain our hair, make it healthy, strong, and allow it to thrive and grow. And in order for it to grow, you must get those split ends, off of your hair so it can once again thrive. And when you're trimming your hair, always use a good pair of shears. Okay, do not use regular scissors. It's just not good for your hair. But a good pair of shears will get it more precise and give it a good cut. So, well, let's go ahead and get started. Again, I'm going to be starting with the shampoo process, and I will be right back and follow up and show you how I'm going to be doing the deep conditioner. Okay, so now that my hair is nicely washed, and oh my God, it feels so much better already. The next process that I'm going to be doing is, again, I have gray strands around my edges, and it is time to do the semi-permanent hair dye. And I'm going to be using Clairol Professional BC Beautiful Collection, and I like to use the kind with advanced gray solution. So the whole purpose of me, again, doing this video is because I really want to promote healthy hair for women over 40. Okay, so again, if you utilize my method and take these steps, your hair can grow as well. And ladies, come on, at this age, we have got to leave these wigs, these braids. We have got to leave that stuff alone, especially here in the South. I mean, it's way too hot for these wigs. And we definitely want our scalp and our strands to breathe. So, okay, so the first step you want to do is you want to always wear protective gloves, protect your beautiful hands, and you also want to, put this on clean, shampooed hair. I did dry it a little bit, just kind of tapped it a little bit with a towel. Also, what's good to dry your hair is an old t-shirt. So throughout the video, you might see me switch from a towel to like an old t-shirt. So let's get started. So again, I'm going to be focusing on around my edges in the front because that's where I tend to always get gray at. So just kind of do that. So I'm going to go ahead and process this all over my hair at room temperature. I'm going to wait about 20 minutes, and then that's when I'm going to rinse it out. And then the next step is when we're going to start our deep conditioner. So stay tuned, ladies. Okay, and now that I have rinsed the semi-permanent color out of my hair, it's now time for me to do my deep conditioner. And today I'm going to be using, again, Mielle, Babassu, and Mint Deep Conditioner. I am going to be sitting under the hooded dryer for about 30 minutes just to allow that moisture to soak into my hair. I'm going to, do it into sections. So I will be back after I rinse out the deep conditioner. Okay, so now that I'm done with the deep conditioner, Wow, my hair feels so hydrated, and I've already detangled it. Now I'm ready for the leave-in. And the leave-in product that I'm going to be using is Mielle White Peony Leave-In Conditioner. So I'm gonna spray this in the palm of my hands. And I'm just gonna work it all throughout my hair. It smells amazing. Because again, we're all about that moisture. So we're gonna do this leave-in. And you wanna take a wide tooth comb. You wanna start at the end and work your way up. Just like that. So the next step that I'm going to be doing is sitting under my hooded dryer for approximately about 15 to 20 minutes. You know, even though I'm going to be blow drying my hair, I don't want to put too much heat. So, but the hooded dryer will, you know, take some of that not moisture, but some of that water out of my hair. So that way I don't use too much heat, because again, this is all about my healthy hair journey. So yeah, let me sit under the hooded dryer for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I will be back with the blow drying process. Okay, so now that I've sat under the hooded dryer, my hair is really starting to feel amazing. But I do want to use the blow dryer just to try to straighten it, because again, I'm trying to get away from using flat irons so much. So I will be using my blow dryer with the comb on the end. And anytime you want to blow dry your hair, you always want to use a heat protectant. And the one that I'm going to be using is called Creme of Nature Argan Oil Heat Protector. So I am going to take a few droplets of this and pretty much, run it throughout my hair. And I'm telling you, it smells good. It feels amazing. It's not heavy at all. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. So I was able to trim my ends. I also sprayed a little bit of the Creme of Nature Argan Oil Anti-Humidity Gloss and Shine Mist. Because again, I live in the South, and we want to maintain our moisture, and we don't want to have our hair flying away. So it's gonna retain the moisture and not allow it to be really poofy and all over my head with the humidity. So, but my hair feels amazing. It smells good. It's fresh. Off camera, I did go ahead and put the Mielle sea moss on my scalp, and it feels great. It's very lightweight, and it has some natural ingredients in it that you can read in the back, but it does feel very light, and so far I'm really liking this oil. And a little bit goes a long way, so you don't need a lot. And as you can see, it has like a little droplet application to put on directly onto your scalp, and the direction says you just massage your scalp for a few minutes, and it's supposed to stimulate your hair follicles and allow your hair to thrive and really grow. So I'm just gonna slowly turn around just so you can see the length of my hair, because I am gonna take you guys on this hair journey. So next month, let's see, how far I've gotten. So I am going to continue to use this hair care line until I am done, and just pay attention to how my hair is doing, because I'm so used to using ORS olive oil, but the chat GPT said it was really too heavy for my hair. So right now, as far as when I'm going to do my next Texlax reapplication on my hair, because I mean my hair, I'm feeling the roots, and yeah, it's getting pretty thick, but the chat GPT does recommend for me to wait until the latter part of June, early July, just to allow my hair to have a lot of new growth, because we don't want to keep overly processing our hair. So, well, this has been a long night, a long journey. I did have a lot of steps. I am getting a little bit tired, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But just stay tuned. I will be posting more videos, throughout my hair journey. Probably in the middle of next week, I am going to be doing a co-wash. And we'll get into that a little bit, later. So for right now, I'll probably just put maybe a few rollers in my hair tonight. And I'm going to be wrapping my hair with a silk scarf just to kind of secure it. Because again, with textured hair such as mine, you definitely want to put some type of satin or silk scarf on your hair to prevent your hair from drying out overnight, because again, we need moisture. We have to retain that moisture so it doesn't break off and get brittle, and now you're just back at square one again doing a big chop. So we definitely don't want to do that. So anyway, stay tuned for my next video, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye.